Hey, the best squad, it's your girl, Ebony the Best. Guys, let me tell you, as y'all know, Mel is on her May month of mental health awareness, and I'm pretty ashamed of. But before I get started, guys, let me start by saying everything I'm about to say, it's alleged, it's all in my opinion, and it's all for entertainment purposes. Okay, now Mel went live today. I didn't see the live, I wasn't on the live, but she has it on her story. And let me tell you, I got so emotional listening to Dr. Derricka talking about her situation, and how she didn't even know this particular person that came into her life that doesn't have a name or a face. I guess they worked together, and this lady put a hit out on her. And when I tell you, I got so emotional, so teared up, because for the last couple of weeks, I'm telling you, I never felt such hate before in my life, right? But you know, that's besides the point. I wanted to post for you guys the message that Dr. Derricka had, and I will come back, guys, with more commentary. Thank you.
Well, that sounds great. You know, I'm super proud of you. I share that with you all the time. But I would be, it would be wrong for me not to also let you guys know, while you heard all of those accolades and everything that Derricka has accomplished, she also is a community servant. When I tell you that she is always giving back, I know for a fact during the pandemic and even before, she and her family, her husband, her beautiful children, they have blessed so many families with food, taking care of rent or mortgage payments. And I know for a fact that she has done that during the pandemic, before the pandemic, after the pandemic. And she did share with you guys that she has an amazing real estate portfolio. But she does. So he is not new, what I call not new to this, but true to this. So, not new to this, but true to this. So Derricka, thank you so much for joining me today. And that I wanted you to be one of my first guests.
It's something very traumatic where FBI knocked on my door and was like, listen, someone paid to end your life. That's probably the best way for me to just put it out there. And this was someone that I had never even met before, someone I had never had a conversation with in person, before, but we worked in the same industry. Throughout the process of going through all of this, I'll give it to you in phases. When I first got this, I immediately, because my family and I, we didn't know a whole lot about the threat. The FBI doesn't give you a whole bunch of information, but we're here to let you know and protect you and, all that. And so here I am, this powerful woman. They pulled up to one. Take long for that to turn to anger, and shortly after you know, the changes weren't as temporary as I would have liked. It went into a depression because I started blaming myself for everything my family was enduring. My children's lives were totally flipped upside down. My husband's life was totally flipped upside down. I wasn't functioning as the regular wife and mom and boss, and it really made me realize how many hats I wear. It's like, wow, I thought I was making this look easy. I was really, you know, and when you shut down completely, that's when everything just kind of shows, like, this is how much I was doing, this is how much I was taking on. And so I got into a mental space that I would be okay one minute and then I wouldn't be. And I learned I had triggers. I learned that there were things that were going to put me in a position that was uncomfortable. And so I'm trying to do this without getting too emotional, but it is, I want to be as transparent as I possibly can. My children were probably my biggest trigger because their lives are so different. I'm a homeschooling mom, and so all of my kids don't go to traditional school, but in order for them to have social lives, you know, Melody knows, they ride horses, they do taekwondo, they do gymnastics, they're very involved, you know, to develop social relationships, and they weren't able to do any of that, you know. So I sat on the couch with one of my kids and I was like trying to explain to her why, you know, you worked so hard to get a certain status in gymnastics, and she was supposed to get ready to compete and, you know, all of this, and now we can't get out here and do what we want to do. And she just does not understand. She's like, I don't have nothing to do with this woman. Why is this woman doing this? What is going on? Why can't the FBI hurry up and do this? Like, I worked hard to make this team. Like, why can't I? So it was a lot to deal with. I was very heavily medicated, which was also a trigger because addiction runs in my family. And that's something I shared with Melody as well. I was like, I can't keep taking these meds. I was like, Mel, I feel like I'm going crazy. Like, I went from crying all the time to now I don't have any emotions and I'm functioning, but I can't feel anything. Like, I know I should be laughing right now. I should be crying right now. Like, I can't feel anything. So I got to come off the medicine, and even taking them was a trigger because my father was an addict. His mother was an addict. My mother's mother was an addict. Like, I broke that chain, and now here I am being prescribed by my doctor these same medicines. So it was another trigger. It was like, oh, in my mental, it was a lot. And so as incredible.
Something really quickly, Derricka, and a lot of people, I see them say they're praying for you. You were, for a period of time, your family was not allowed to leave the home. Is that correct? And when it did change, what did that look like when you could even leave for anything?
I had to notify whenever I would leave. Like, I still have messages in my phone where I would send, you know, the agent, hey, I got to go get my hair done. Here's the location for this. Here's what time I'll be there. I'll probably be about this much in terms of duration, and then I'm expected to be back at this particular house because this isn't even my main house that you see. I work out of this house and my main house is elsewhere, so now I'll be at this house, you know. So that was triggering, just the fact that I got to get up and go do this, but I need to let someone know because I don't feel safe. And even before going somewhere, when it was finally okay, for lack of a better phrase, to go somewhere, it was like the reality of my husband having to walk. I have a long driveway. My husband having to walk me down the driveway, open up my G-Wagon, look up under it, just make sure. It was just, it's not a way for anybody to live. Like, that alone, which it made you not want to go anywhere. It was just like, I just don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it, right? So we know that we live in a social media age where a lot of times social media is a place where we can vent, right?
Yeah.
Where we can vent, let it out, pull strength from other people who from that moment start DMing you, or like some of these amazing women are here saying, oh my gosh, we're praying for you and all of that. But you couldn't even go to social media. And
right. I was instructed to not.
To hold that here, and only could share with close people in your life what you were going through and how your life had changed just like that from a knock on your door.
Yes, it was really tough to not, you know, I'm an influencer, not so much on Instagram. I'm getting better with Instagram, but Facebook, there's, you know, thousands upon thousands of people that are there, and this is my tribe, you know. And normally I share my journey. I'm transparent about my journey. I'm particular, but I'm still transparent. And so knowing I couldn't even say anything, you know, it was like, okay, all right, this just happened, and it's so surreal. It's so surreal. And so I will say I was so dependent on my husband and my inner circle. If you have a circle, love on them, protect them. I learned who my real friends were during this. None of my real friends was like, girl, I'm tired of you crying. Girl, I'm tired of hearing that. Like, I knew I could text Mel 911 at 3 a.m. and she would call me and be like, girl, you okay? And I could just cry, or I could pray, or, you know, it was just having those real friends, not just the friends you can go shopping with, not just the friends that look good in selfies with and matching clothes and, you know, all that. Like, I learned my real friendships during this season. Like, it has blessed me so much. I mean, so much. So if anyone has a circle, love on your circle, express gratitude for your circle. You have no idea how much you will need them and how much they will need you. Okay, like just being there. And my whole circle, I got everyone in my circle is wealthy. My entire circle is 7-figure business women, you know. And so everyone, it's so different when you have a problem that money can't solve, because we all just buy whatever and we go wherever and we fly wherever. And well, I'm on this. I would text and be like, hey, what country are you in, Nat? Hey, where you at, Mel? Like, it was just the norm to just have my circle in that aspect. But to see these powerful Black women coming together for me during this time, I know it gave my husband relief, and it also gave me an extra sense of security as well, to know someone outside of my household is also praying for me, is also rooting for me, and is also there for me. With everything that was going on, I lost 60% of my business because I couldn't show up. And so
I want to stop you right there for a second.
Okay.
Because you shared that with me one day when and you know, you were like, I'm tired of taking these pills. They're prescribing me this, they're prescribing me that. I'm going through depression, you know. And before I ask this question and chime a little bit more into, as a woman wearing all these hats, and you said early on, I didn't even realize all the things I was responsible for and how many hats I was wearing and everything I was doing because I was just doing. But then when I couldn't show up anymore, that's whenever you saw, oh my gosh, 60% of my income and business that I've been doing, I can't even show up and function in a way to sustain and to continue to move how I've been moving. But I want to ask you this and share this with the audience, Derricka. At the time, you recently just had a baby.
I did. She just turned 2. Yep.
She
just had a baby.
I'm gonna try not to cry because it really hits home for me, because when you think about, you just had a baby, she's only 2 years old, right? This is supposed to be one of the happiest times of your life, when you are supposed, like you just said, your son was having a party when the knock on the door happened. You're preparing for a party. You and your family, your other children, and your husband are embracing this new life that God has given you guys. And just like that, it's turned upside down, right?
Yes.
Turned upside down, where you're literally in a place of survival. Like, I got to make sure that we all remain here, that we all remain. And I hope that I'm not sharing too much, but to know, because I've talked to you, to know that with this hit that came along, it was extra compensation if it was done in front of your children.
Yes. The person offered more money if it would be done, if I would be murdered at my home in front of my children. And I have 6 children, ages, well, she's not 1, she just turned 2 a couple days ago, all the way to 15. So it was very personal. And I didn't even know this person like that. personally. So it was devastating to hear, because this played out via social media. It wasn't like I could get away from it. It, like, when videos were released, it was all over TikTok, it was all over Instagram, it was all over YouTube. Everybody wanted a part of the story. And so I just had to, like, go away for a minute, because no matter what it is that I said, it was going to be tied into this. Even if I tried to keep it business, it was still going to be tied into this. But to know that someone would be that hateful to say, do this at her home, can this be done within the next week? Like, I'll throw an extra 5 on it, like an extra 5,000. Like, wow, to traumatize my children. It's a different type of evil.
It
Is how I would describe it.
what came to my mind, just evil. And
You heard all of that. You saw Mel got emotional, and Dr. Derricka Hartwell was also. I mean, this is like a serious issue, and some people just take it serious, or they probably just don't care what a person, mental issue, or, just don't care at all. I can't even say anymore. But to all the ladies, all of you guys who are struggling with anything, any sort of illness that even people are labeling you as, take Dr. Derricka's advice and talk to someone. Don't be afraid to talk and let it out. And I thank you to one content creator who's out here standing up for women who are being put in situation where they have to revert back to where they're coming from being secure in a safe place. So shout out to that content creator.